that was quite a little ride. And this diversion that we're having to take, I'm not sure whether we're on the route yet or not. And I haven't really got a clue where I am, but it is it is very very twisty and interesting, going through some lovely villages, you know, speed limits, tight twisty roads, all sorts of things to negotiate. So it is exercising your skills, so to speak. But it has to be say, it's, you know, it's quite a pleasant ride round. Now coming into a national again. Don't know for how long for, but check of the mirrors and let's go. Yeah, we've now got 90 miles left on our journey. I don't know how many miles that diversion thing has added to our trip, but we're now scheduled to arrive at Reedham Ferry at 12:25, so it's extended it by about 10 minutes. Well, I should probably be making a stop at some point anyway for a quick drink of water, hopefully. Yeah, when we was back at base, we discussed this section whereby we was going to be going up and down the A14. Well, we haven't done that as such yet, and I'm not sure we're going to. I think we were diverted on and then off the A14, and it has been quite interesting actually. So, you know, it's been quite good, and the views now are really quite something. Nice, smooth, open road. And all is well with the world. Well, I'm glad I've got the camera on for this section. Very nice. Look how pretty this is. Wow. Tremendous. Oh, lovely little town centre or village centre. Very nice. Wow. This is a route that keeps on delivering, it has to be said. Wow. So here we are, we're still on the go. I'm very sad to report that the autocar system threw a bit of a wobbly on the A14 section, which was a bit harum-scarum, but managed to negotiate that quite well. It now seems to be back working again okay, so it is still having one or two wobbly moments. But you join us now on the A1120, which is reckoned to be the Suffolk tourist route, as it were. And I have to say, this is another excellent piece of road. We are cruising along here quite nicely. And it has been very pleasant. I just thought I'd restart the cameras here so that you could enjoy this section. I mean, the views, I don't know if I hope the camera's picking that up, but you know, the undulations of this road is really quite something. Yeah, so I think we're now heading, yes, we're heading northeast. We're probably heading towards the Suffolk coast for a short while, and then we'll be heading northwest, I would guess, up towards our destination, which is Reedham Ferry. But we're following this road probably, I would guess, I don't actually know, but yep, Framlingham, as you can see, is mentioned on the signpost here. Now, as we make our way, we've just passed into the borough or area of Framlingham, and of course it's this area where Framlingham Castle is, which featured, I believe, in Ed Sheeran's song Castle on the Hill. I don't know whether we're going to get a view of it, but let's carry on forward and see what happens. Oh, this is another one of these very attractive Suffolk towns, Framlingham town centre. here. So here we are, we have now arrived at Aldeburgh Beach. So we're just going to park up and see what we can see. That'll be fantastic. Hopefully have a look at the sea at the same time. So let's find a parking space. Yeah, well, you join me now here on Aldeburgh Beach, and we're having a look at an iconic piece of design, and also a look down the old coast at Thorpe Ness to my right as I stand here, and Aldeburgh to my left. So let's have a quick look, and also, like I said earlier, a piece of design on this beach. Yeah, this iconic sculpture was designed by a local artist called Maggie Hambling, and it was built in tribute to the music composer Benjamin Britten, who used to walk regularly along this beach. Right, so that was a quick visit to Aldeburgh Beach there. Had a quick look around. We're now making our way along the little coast road to Thorpe Ness. So that's quite pleasant. This is an area I've been along before. The wife and I like this area very much, and we sometimes come and have a few days down here as a little bit of a relaxation break. So this is an area, as I said, I know reasonably well. But fortunately, so it seems, does the editorial team of Ride magazine, because they've obviously bought this route into this section, as it were, and it's proven very pleasing. Thorpe Ness is a town that was built purely for leisure use. It has a big boating lake in the middle. We're now approaching Thorpe Ness now, and it's a very lovely place to spend a few days. You know, all the amenities are here, and yet it's relatively quiet. You know, it's not like you know, the sort of more commercial seaside towns like Hunstanton, near where I live, and Skegness and those sort of things. It's much more tasteful, I guess, and I don't mean that in any disrespect to the two previously mentioned towns, because everything has its purpose, but this is a lovely place to come. Yep, to our left there was the boating lake. It is situated in the middle of the town. You can hire boats and all sorts of craft and have a splash around in the water should you wish to. Lots of amenities, hotels, eateries, that sort of thing, and a very nice place to come and visit. Right, so we're making our way out of Thorpe Ness. So we'll make progress now up towards Reedham Ferry. We have 31 miles to go, so hopefully there'll be another 31 miles of quite good roads and a lot of good riding. So we'll keep the cameras running and see how we get on. So we've made our way up from Aldeburgh through Leiston and Beccles. Beccles was a very, very pleasant little place. Didn't have the cameras running, unfortunately, but a very pretty town. And we're now coming to Journey's End, really. We made our way along the A143, I believe it was, towards Norwich, and we've now turned off at a place called Hales, and we're making our way up to Reedham Ferry. We've got about 3 miles to go. So I have to say this has been a great trip. I'm looking forward to the end and a bit of lunch and a drink, but I have to say the roads have been great so far, and you know, they've been tight, twisty country roads, some fast sweeping, and we've had some roads like this which are a bit narrow and almost grass growing up the middle, but none the more for that, it's been a very, very rewarding journey, and we're just hoping to see. We've got a little bit of an issue here. Very kind van driver. Yeah, so you can see we're making our way up here now, and you know, our destination, like I say, is only about 3 miles away. So how has the autocar system performed today? Well, it's not been too bad. It had a bit of a wobble on the A14, which was a little bit of an issue, but I'm not quite sure yet why, but it hasn't been as problematic as it has been in previous times. And I have to say, I was pretty relieved that it has been okay, touch wood, since then, since that incident. And you know, the route has been quite complex, and I have to say that had it not been for having this system, I may well have had to have aborted the trip. I suppose I could have got my phone out and used that as on its own, as it were, but it's been a fair test and it's not been too bad. I know my TomTom unit had its moments as well from time to time, so you know, it's not always completely foolproof, and you have to use a little bit of common sense sometimes. Yeah, so I've been on roads today that you know, I wouldn't normally go on, of course, and that's been quite rewarding, really. So I have to say, the old ride editorial team, they must cover some miles and really do sort of explore the countryside to find these routes that they then make available for us to enjoy, which is you know, obviously good fun for everybody. And I would highly recommend that you sort of go onto their website and have a look at some of their routes and see if there's any that might be suiting you in your area. I've got 1 or 2 more longer ones planned, hopefully a 2 or 3 day trips. I'm hoping to invite my mate Tony. Ooh, I've missed the turning. Never mind, I've been talking too much and missed the turning, so I've just got to find a way around and turn around and go back again. Just bear with me a moment. Yeah, I've got 1 or 2 little smaller routes. I'm going to be going back up Lincolnshire again and sort of retracing my steps on a route I've done 2 or 3 times before, but there's quite an additional loop that I'm very interested in having a look at as well. So you know, keep tuned and hit that subscribe button if you want to be kept up to date with some of the rides that I'm doing. Sometimes work gets in the way and I'm not able to cover things as much as I would like, but you know, it's not too bad. Yeah, so this is this is at the very lower end of the quality of road, but it doesn't make it any less interesting. So we are now about 2 miles away from our final destination, having covered the best part of 150 miles, and it's been a rewarding trip. It's also quite noticeable that, you know, when you're out and about in places like this, how remote, despite the fact that we're quite a densely populated country, that it's amazing how many places there are, even in, you know, reasonably close proximity to cities, that you can sort of get out and be away from everybody. Absolutely terrific. We are, of course, now here approaching the edge of the Norfolk Broads, which is also a very popular destination for holidaymakers. And I believe when you get to Reedham Ferry, you can obviously go across on it, and then that you're into the heart of Broadland, as it were, which is obviously another great place to visit. We won't be doing that today. I'm going to just get to the ferry complex, as it were, and stop for a bit of lunch and speak to you a bit more detail when we get there, so to speak. But when you think about what areas we've covered Fenland, Breckland, and then the Suffolk countryside, and then back up into Norfolk towards the Broads. You know, that's quite a sort of range of roads and areas that we've experienced in a morning's ride, which has been great. So here we are. I think we have arrived. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so I've arrived here at Journey's End here at Reedham Ferry. It's been a great ride here, it has to be said, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. The route itself has been a nice mixture of wide sweeping roads and also tight twisty B roads and country lanes as well. So it really has honed my skills, I have to say, and it's done me the world of good to get out and have a good ride around in a mixed environment, so to speak. So I've really enjoyed that today. And I think if you look on the Ride magazine website, you'll see that there are plenty of routes available, and there's probably one in your area, and I would thoroughly recommend that you actually go onto their website, download some of their routes and have a go yourself, because they are quite eye-opening in terms of quality and, you know, the way they hone your skills, as it were, which I think is great. So I've arrived here, as I said, and I've enjoyed my time here at Reedham Ferry. I've had a good look at the ferry going across backwards and forwards. So I think I shall call a halt to proceedings here and now. My ride home now is quite a boring one along the A47 back towards Downham Market. So I shan't be recording anymore. So all I'd like to say to you is I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, then you'd like and subscribe, which will keep you up to date with all future videos on the channel. And without further ado, this is Shutters and Speed signing off for now, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!